LADAR, right? With the transgender bill.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
You know who the hateful eight are who didn't vote for the transgender bill? If you were the minority leader and it was a unanimous vote in the Senate and only 8 people who voted it down in the House, why did everyone allow doctors' input in adolescents and handicapped children to lead them towards the endocrinologist and having a sex change? I mean, they took away every parental right when every single senator voted for the transgender bill. And they were afraid. I mean, for example, Joe Markley said, "I don't agree with the language in this bill, but I'm going to vote for it anyway." I'm like, excuse me? So in hindsight, of course, he was fearful of being ridiculed when he should have done the right thing. And if the language is bad, why pass a bill affecting kids, you know, letting a social worker determine whether your child who's 8 can get a sex change or not? It just seems misguided.
Well, I will just tell you, I can't remark on what other people have said or how they voted, but I will tell you that, you know, you have to stand up for what you believe in, and in that particular situation, parents should have control of what their kids are doing.
All right. Matt, when will she be in Eastern Connecticut?
Someone would like to know when you'll be in Eastern Connecticut next.
I was in Ledyard the other day. When am I going to be in Eastern? I'm going to be in Tallinn tomorrow.
Oh. Where?
They're meeting and then a big bake sale, I heard, which
It's
I'm very
the
excited
bake
about, but I
off.
will be there tomorrow night.
Very good. Thank you so much for joining us from the road.
Well, I'd love to see you guys if you want to join tomorrow.
Hey, where in Tallinn is she going to be?
It's the
Tallinn Bake Sale.
Tallinn Bake Sale.
Flyer. We'll get it.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Night, Thomas. Thank you.
For U.S. Senate.
Yeah, I just want to line this up so I can possibly see.
John Flynn.
Nice to meet you all. Thank you for the invitation. I'd like to thank Matt the most because I appreciated his tweet about the 70. Yeah, I'm gonna go over there. About the 70 unopposed General Assembly positions and the 14 unopposed Senate positions. I thought he did the right thing by standing up and saying, this is not a red wave, folks, if we have that many vacancies with no opponent. So, I'm Johnny Flynn, I'm from Norwalk. I've never done the same speech twice. You won't hear the same thing from me, and I won't waste your time. What I will tell you is that I did get a start as a convertible bond trader. I ran a portfolio. We did quite well. We made 100% annually. I got involved in biotechnology research. Wouldn't we need a biotechnology research analyst right now to develop a theory on what's happening? Yeah, I know more than most people. I just can't tell you. But I get monthly briefs, sometimes weekly, from intelligence agencies. I am hands down prepared. I filed 3.5 years ago, not last week, not last month. I have 100 cases of documentation. To help me do the right thing, Richard Blumenthal has 1,042 bills in the Senate. Cory Booker has 39. I've read them. Okay? The guy's the devil. He wrote the Iran deal, the Green New Deal. He wrote the late-term abortion bill. If you hadn't noticed, partial birth abortion is legal in Connecticut. There's other laws worse than that on the books here. But I'm focused on saving America, okay, from Chris Murphy and Blumenthal, all the damage they've done. And I'm prepared, okay? I'm the largest pro se litigator in the state of Connecticut. I've done hundreds of money laundering cases. I've done human trafficking. I worked with Waterbury in the Apple Hotel. They have a human trafficking problem. Shelton has a human trafficking problem. Nobody knows about it because Hearst won't print an article about it, okay? What you need to know is, I get all the feeds from every newspaper in the nation. We just cherry pick what we want to do, okay? So I'm working with a think tank. I'm way ahead of the curve. I have an MBA in finance. I don't think any of my opponents do. I don't think any of my opponents come even close to me, okay? My dad was the chairman of the Conservative Party in New York. I was a registered conservative in New York, but when I came to Connecticut in 1998, I went with the Republican Party. I'm not happy with the Republican Party at all. I will never get the endorsement. I can show you my phone, how many threats I've received from them, and I don't care, because I'm here to do what I think we need to do. I have one major endorsement, the Catholic Church. No one's had it since Christ was born. So I don't really care about, you know, my Norwalk representatives who are total rhinos. They don't appreciate anything I bring to the table. I have an environmental background. I know everything about the 10,000 brownfields in Connecticut. I've been working on Norwalk. We've been fixing Norwalk. I've been fixing things, okay? That's what I am. I'm a fixer. So when you look at the problems we face, I have 50 items in my plan to bring to the table, 50. I want to just basically show you this book. This is the Linwood transcript, okay? This is Rod Rosenstein waterboarding American citizens with kerosene and diesel fuel. And if you don't think the DEA, all those agencies, CIA, FBI, this transcript would blow your mind if you read it, okay? Blow your mind. I'm not kidding. So I think I'm prepared to take them all on, and I will. Okay, so if you look at my website, I have 928 half-hour videos preparing for this. 928. If you watch my FBI ones, it'll blow your mind. I've been to the FBI 100 times. I reported 2 months ago a meth lab with 500 employees. They haven't made a move. I've been talking to them since 2000, okay? I was the first whistleblower against Bernie Madoff in the nation, 6 years before anyone else. What happened? I sued him 200 times. What happened? None of the cases went to trial. Why? Because they thought I was crazy. Now he's the biggest crime boss, $50 billion Ponzi scheme criminal of all time. So when you look at me being ahead of the curve, I'm way ahead of the curve. What you need to know is, I'm going to talk to you about 3 of my plans. One is to clean up HFA. HFA is hydrofluoric acid. There are 48 plants in America that use HFA. What happens is they treat it with oil to give you gasoline. Okay? There's 2 in Philadelphia, there's 12 in Corpus Christi, I know where they all are. Okay? They are owned by hedge funds in Connecticut. Okay? The problem here is they're self-insured. Okay? One RPG hits one of those plants, estimated 4 million deaths in half of them. 4 million people. Estimated 4 trillion in damage each.
And they're self-insured.
And they're self-insured. Carlyle Group's in Wilton. Tosco and Tesoro are in Stamford. The O'Malley Group's in Greenwich. And I have a database that would choke a horse on these. There's a monthly accident in these plants. Okay? That's my first thing. I'm going to make sure these people add sulfur to the process, which raises, when you, this gas vaporizes at 73 degrees. It travels at 19 miles an hour in a circle, and it has a huge kill zone, okay? What I'm saying is, simply put, add sulfur. It raises the temperature that the thing will explode at, and it won't travel very far. And you could save millions of deaths, because we're an Al-Qaeda target, okay?
So
I know Blumenthal's.
Why aren't they adding the sulfur now?
Huh? They can't, they won't do it.
That's the air pollution.
It's not even that. You can do it so it doesn't. But, okay, so my second plan is to clean up Rosetech. Rosetech is owned by the Abraj Group, which bought the Uranium One deal. Blumenthal's in on it, okay? So is all Clapper, all those jokers are on CFIUS. They approved it. There are 3 gigantic truck bed, what do you call it? container ships. The problem with our supply chain is not that there's truckers that don't want to drive material. It's that each boat coming to the United States has to be scanned for nukes. The beach ball is owned by the Jafar Group, same group. They bought the Uranium One deal, they sold it to North Korea. Guess who's on the Transportation Committee approving all this stuff? Richard Blumenthal, my opponent. Guess who sued Richard Blumenthal last month for 5G? Me. I also sued Themis because she's on the Telecommunications Board of Connecticut, and I will go over some things. Let me talk about the third topic, which is 5G. 9 nanowatts of RF radiation gives you gene problems. 10 makes you blind. 11 causes your sperm to die. 12, 13, 14, 15. Guess what the limit in Connecticut is? Anybody? 600. 9 makes you blind. 600 she set the limit at. That's not the problem. This is the reading from the Trumbull City Hall. 1,740. 700 makes your hair fall out. This is the reading at the Trumbull Mall. 1,866. 1,866. So that's my third topic. The problem in Connecticut that I see, which is a major topic, last month we interviewed 53 people who lost their homes from foreclosure with no mortgage. No mortgage. One guy lost his home twice due to 2 fictitious loans that don't exist. That's the Pritchard case. If you follow the Pritchard case and the other lawsuits that I'm following, you will see that the court's been weaponized. There are whistleblowers going to jail with a $500,000 bail. And there are rapists like Clemente Gusto, multiple serial raper, in and out of jail. Raped a woman in 2000, 2006, 2013. He's out on the street because they closed the maximum security prison. Why? I know why. I mean, but truthfully, to get all the information you need to make decisions about voting for the US Senate, we have a 50-50 split. We have Kamala Harris as the deciding vote. I'll tell you this. I can't sleep. I have to get that seat. So I will tell you, I know things about Blumenthal nobody knows, okay? He owns 2 Chinese malls in China. One's 562,000 square feet. Yes, he does own the Empire State Building through his brother-in-law, Malkin. He's a billionaire, his wife's a billionaire. When he met his wife, he was 32 and she was 16. He started dating her at 16. That's statutory rape. Why are we dealing with pedophilia across the country? Because all my opponents think that Blumenthal follows Biden. Hell no. It's the other way around. Biden is following Blumenthal, who's a kingpin, okay? So when you look, I just want to show you a picture. Does anyone know the name Shiraz Wahij? Okay? No, you probably never heard. Okay, let me tell you. He has a farm in New Mexico. Blumenthal gave him an award. All these people are saying, oh, what about this meeting they had where, you know, he met with the communists? Yeah. Joelle Fishman is giant, and she should not be in America anymore. I mean, I can go down that road, but this guy here in this picture has a farm where he's teaching children to go to schools and shoot other children, okay? 9 of those kids in the 11-seat program are his own grandkids. His own son murdered his own grandson, and they found this place when they found the grandson's body. This is the World Trade Center bomber character witness. He testified about the character of the bombers at the World Trade Center bombing. You know what I'm saying? He's got connections to Blumenthal. There are so many. Duadi has a connection. There's probably 40 folks. So his go-to guy, this guy's go-to guy, is on the International Most Wanted list, along with 30 others. So when you look at CARE, the Islamic, right, you got to go down this rabbit hole to figure out what's going on, and we've been doing that. So what I want to say to you is, yes, there were 465,000 arrests in the federal government in the last 12 months. Yes, there were 400. Yes, Guantanamo Bay is full. Yes, the white hats are coming in Connecticut. And matter of fact, there's 49 right now doing investigations. Yes, I get briefed. Yes, I'm prepared. They contacted me because they followed my page with the 928 videos. So when you look, I mean, just hold your finger up when I have 1 minute, and I could talk all night, but I could, but what do we need to know? You know, the media is corrupt. They won't print the accurate stories, right? So a lot of people are in the dark, but if the light was turned on, and people can turn the light on, the rest of the state would come out of hiding. What we're doing is we're working in Hartford, Waterbury, Bridgeport, New Haven, and 2 or 3 other towns. That's all I'm going to. I mean, I came here because I know Matt. He's a stellar guy, one of the top conservatives in the entire state. I can't stand Ben Proto, sorry. I think he should not hold that seat. Fine, shoot me. I think Peter Lamage does not have a JD, never took the bar in Connecticut, never took the bar in New York. Leora Levy, she has no business being in this race. She has a conflict of interest. She's on the state national committee. We don't have the donor list, she does. We don't have, I'm not allowed to speak at certain RTC meetings. Matt invited me. I was not allowed to speak in the Stanford RTC meeting. They banned us. Why? Because I've sued Stanford like 8 times for money laundering. Okay, that's a criminal enterprise. And the fact remains, the Sam Migliore case, this is Sam. Say hi, Sam. He's the guy we're helping. This guy's a whistleblower.
And I'm here with William.
I gotta call you back. Anyway, they framed him. They falsely arrested him 7 times. They falsely arrested Ethan Book. Ethan Book did a year. He's running for Congress. He's my friend. I stand by him 100%. When you look at the cases that are in the Stanford Superior Court, we are currently suing 12 judges, my group. We've filed capias writs. You should research it, because the 25th Amendment in the state of Connecticut, they revoked. That was the state marshal's right to arrest a judge. Nobody can arrest a judge in Connecticut. But when they took that right away from the state marshals, they gave it back to the people. We've been filing lawsuits. We're going to get John Carroll, folks. He's the chief court administrator for the whole state. The guy's as dirty as there could ever be. The Ed Marcus Law Group is a criminal enterprise that the judges work for. Okay, we can prove it. They all know it. The problem is, we're researching 6,500 mortgages, folks. It's like impossible. And every time we post about a mortgage, we get 10 more people. I got my house stolen. This is how they did it. Oh, that's easy. I know how they did it. This. There are federal laws that the court doesn't follow. So we have a state that's blue that doesn't follow 404 legislation, filings, appraisals, and transfers of title. They just don't do it because it's a federal law. And the governor instructed them not to follow federal law. So here we go. We have something called benchmark. Has anyone ever heard of it? The Benchmark Commission? During Themis's tenure, they set up a benchmark commission. They took all the lobbyists for mortgage fraud that own the mortgage mills and put them on a board, and they regulate the industry for the state. So what happens is, every couple of years they turn one over who's really bad. But Spader's terrible. Kavanuski, terrible. Provader, Heller, Jacobs. I could go on quite a bit. I don't want to bore you, but I'm just saying, I made a commitment to cleaning up this state, whether I'm the senator or not. But, you know, I don't think anyone's prepared, filing last week or last month, for the most important seat in Connecticut. I don't even think the governor's seat is as important as the U.S. Senate seat right now. I've seen them cross-examine those judges. The last judge, Jackson, she was soft on a pedophile that was involved in posting pictures of an 8, 9, 10-year-old rape victim, and the guidelines were for a 10-year sentence, and she gave him 90 days. So we don't need a judge like that, especially on the Supreme Court for the rest of her life. And I'll tell you, I know everything about Blumenthal's health condition, okay? He ain't gonna last much longer. So this is an opportunity because they don't have Democrats vying for that seat. A Republican can take it. I can take it. I sued Richard Colangelo 6 times. 6 times. 5 times for money laundering, once for bribery. Bribery in a murder that occurred 2 years ago of a boy in Stanford. I will tell you this, he got fired because of me. They permitted him to resign. He's singing like a bird. He's in a federal jail right now, I believe, singing like a bird about all the bribes at the Stanford Superior Court, which is enormous.
Do you want to take questions?
No, I do. I would love to take questions. Any question, please grill me.
Forgive me, I guess I just didn't hear at the beginning, you
Yeah.
said, you keep saying your group?
I have a group.
What group?
My campaign committee's huge. But we don't let everyone know.
I think you mean what group is suing people and stuff like that.
Oh, John, I'm the John Flynn. I can show you case numbers. The
Are
boy
you
who
an
was...
attorney?
Huh? No, I'm a litigator though. I'm a pro se litigator. I've done about 350 cases, which is a lot. I'm a carpenter, plumber, electrician. I build homes. I'm an arbitrator. I do engineering. My dad is one of the largest engineering firms in the state. So he's 85. He can't go on a fire escape anymore. I have to do a lot of the work. So I'm busy all the time, and I appreciate your time and effort. Does that answer your question? I mean,
It helps.
it helps. Sorry, I talk pretty fast. Grill me, come on. You got the questions. I'd like to answer them.
I'm fine. I think you're batshit crazy.
Great. I am. I
So
am.
I do have one, I just have one question, actually. In running,
Yeah.
you're running as a Republican,
Yes,
but you said the Republican committee don't like you.
I'm gonna file, whether I win the primary or not, directly on the ballot as an independent, and I'm gonna gather the 9,000 signatures, and I'm the only candidate running that has Democratic support as a truth-telling Republican. Okay, people in Norwalk know me. I will get 9,000 signatures, probably just from Norwalk. So I'll ask 100 people to get 100 each, and we'll see what happens. But I got like 30 people saying they'll do it for me, which is fine. I mean, I'm in it, and I'm gonna win it. Sorry.
Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for your patience.